I'm Tony Birch and I'm a senior lecturer in operations management in the business school. Been here for about 10 years now, having spent a long time in industry before that. I think I can probably define it best by saying I was a student here. And I know what it meant to come along, especially as a part-time student, and get a good lecturer who actually did something for the students and actually pushed the boundaries a little bit. I mean, it's quite easy for someone to stand up and deliver their content, but I think the extra mile is going that little bit further. Perhaps sitting in the shoes of the student and appreciating their experience as well. And it's something that I've always had in mind since I've become a lecturer, referring back to what it was like for me when I was a student. Embarrassed was perhaps the first thing that came to mind, because pretty much I see it as my job. To get recognition from students is very important to me, because I know people don't like to consider students as customers, but I do. And it is all about giving quality and that little bit more. So when I was nominated, I was a bit surprised, but I was also delighted at the same time, because to be appraised by your customer and given good feedback from your customer has to be very good. It has to indicate that you're doing something right. It came as a bolt out of the blue when the email came from the Students' Union to first of all say that I'd been nominated, and then when I was told that I'd been shortlisted as well, it really was a surprise, but a nice surprise. It was a nice surprise, can't say it wasn't. Um, because it was technology based, one of the things I've been doing for a while now in the university is pushing back the boundaries of using technology for learning. And the students on this particular module were all a little bit wary because they were guinea pigs in a way. Um, but I think they were expecting that there would be very little support, and that online learning would be, using the technology, would be a little bit like documents behind glass. So it was about PowerPoint slides on Moodle. And what they found, that it was much more than that. It was very interactive, and I was there to support them all through the process, every step of the way. And I think when I got to find out what the nomination was really about, was they were just so impressed that it didn't become a 9 to 5 job, and learning for part-time students especially isn't a 9 to 5 experience. So, yeah, I think I have said it. I think it is a question of looking at it from the student's perspective. And if what I saw in terms of how I deliver my content and my classes in my reflections would be unideal, and then I'd have to go back and revisit what it is and make it better. So it is about looking at my practice and developing my practice, and that has to be good for the students. Um, I didn't find any challenges really, um, because as I say, I think it's just part of my job, and as an educational innovator, I'm constantly pushing the boundaries back anyway, and reflecting on what went well, what didn't go so well, how we could do better. So in terms of doing the extra mile, um, in terms of a challenge, I didn't see it as a challenge. I didn't even know it was happening, because it was a question of pushing back the boundaries of developing educational procedures within the university. Yeah, I think the advice has probably been said. You know, you have to look at what you do. There is a saying that we use in my subject area, and especially in the area of quality management, and that is, if you always did what you always done, then you always get what you always got. Um, if you constantly challenge what you do and look at it and how to do it better, then I think the students will appreciate it. It isn't just a question of turning up and delivering content, because content's content, and you can get that from textbooks. It's how you interact with the students that's important. Interesting. Um, I think it is about challenging the status quo. It's about looking at different ways of doing it, especially in the modern era. Um, I mean, the kids that are coming into university now are all what we call digital natives. They've grown up with technology, and as such, we need to respect that, and we need to be in that world. Um, I think the Extra Mile Award is very important to academic staff and support staff as well. But I mean, I'm speaking from an academic perspective. I think it's very important for academic staff because it gives us the opportunity to look at ourselves in the eyes of the students. Now, there are all sorts of awards that go on in the university that I've not really taken much interest in. And I didn't know about Extra Mile until it came in my inbox. I'd seen the posters, but I didn't take much notice of what they were. But I think it's perhaps the most important initiative that's going on in the university, and certainly it allows the organisation to interact well with the Students' Union in recognising good practice and recognising people that really are pushing the boundaries and giving the students a really good experience here. For you to be adjudged by your peers is one thing. To be judged by your superiors is very nice. But to be judged by the people that you actually deliver the service to is so much more important. It really is, and I think it's a great initiative. And I'll certainly be hoping and working towards getting another one of those mugs and another one of those certificates. But hopefully this year it won't be the runner-up prize, it will be the real deal.